How the MLB trade deadline, the All-Stars' future, and the Guardians' outlook are affected by the gambling investigation into Emmanuel Clase. As part of a Major League Baseball inquiry into sports betting, Cleveland Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase was placed on non-disciplinary paid leave on Monday. He is the second Guardians pitcher to be let go this month as the league looks into gambling. Since July 3, right-hander Luis Ortiz has been on leave. In a statement, MLB stated, per an agreement with the MLBPA, Cleveland Guardians pitcher Emmanuel Clase has been placed on non-disciplinary paid leave through games on August 31 while MLB continues its sports betting investigation. Until the investigation is finished, we will not comment further. Over the past few seasons, 27-year-old Clase has been one of the game's most dominant closers. This year, he has pitched to a 3.23 ERA and is having a down season, going 24 for 29 in saved chances. This includes allowing a walk-off 3-run home run on Saturday against the Kansas City Royals. Clase had a 0.61 earned run average last year and was 47 for 50 in saved chances. Here's a look at the ripple effects Clase's departure had on the Guardians on the field and possibly the league itself while we wait for the details to come in and MLB's investigation to finish. Clase is no longer traded. It goes without saying that Clase is no longer a trade candidate leading up to Thursday's 6 p.m. EDT deadline. In recent weeks, rumors had mentioned him and a number of other Guardians relievers. Rule 21 says, any player, umpire, or club or league official or employee, who shall bet any sum whatsoever upon any baseball game in connection with which the bettor has a duty to perform, shall be declared permanently ineligible. If a suspension is handed down, never mind a lifetime ban, it will further impact Clase's trade value in the future. We'll wait and see what the investigation turns up. Take Clase off your trade deadline shopping list for the time being. He is off until August 31. Reliever demand always outweighs supply at the trade deadline, and with Clase off the market, teams with relievers to trade can seek that much more in return. This includes the Pittsburgh Pirates with David Bednar and Dennis Santana, the Minnesota Twins with Joan Duran and Griffin Jax, the St. Louis Cardinals, including Phil Maton and Ryan Helsley. The competition for other top relievers will be much fiercer if there is one less top reliever available. Cleveland's path to contention got much harder. The Guardians were 52 to 53 and 3.5 games behind the third wildcard team when play began on Monday, with 3 teams ahead of them. Although not insurmountable, this deficit is difficult to overcome. When you're chasing 3 teams, chances are at least one of them will win each night. Cleveland needs to win 57 games to catch up, and it may need all 57. Without Clase, who is still a shutdown closer despite having a down year, it will be much more difficult to close the gap and secure a postseason berth. The Guardians average only 3.84 runs scored per game, 5th fewest in baseball. They play a lot of close games, a lot of games. A stacked bullpen is a necessity, and now that bullpen is a little less stacked. Prior to the deadline for trades, Cleveland was already in the buy-sell bubble. They might be pushed over into the seller's bucket by Clase's leave. Cade Smith and Hunter Gaddis, 2 controllable relievers, would bring in a nice return. Shane Bieber, a former superstar, is recuperating from Tommy John surgery and may be made available as well. Another major gambling scandal affects MLB. This is not baseball's first major gambling scandal. The 1919 Black Sox and Pete Rose happened, and it's not even the league's first major gambling scandal since New Jersey became the first state to legalize sports betting in 2018. Ippei Mizuhara, longtime interpreter to Los Angeles Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani, stole millions from Ohtani and was sentenced to 57 months in prison. Although Ohtani was only a victim and not a co-conspirator, MLB was undoubtedly shaken when the news first broke. Cleveland's statement on Clase's leave said that no other players or club personnel are expected to be impacted by the investigation, but it's unclear if his probe is related or tied to Ortiz's. This is a red flag for the league, especially when a star player like Clase is involved, regardless of whether it is one investigation involving 2 players or 2 separate investigations. Also inevitable was this. You only need to pick up your phone to place bets on sports, and it is legal in 39 states, Puerto Rico, and Washington, D.C. It is now more accessible than ever. MLB's partnerships with sports betting outlets is not to blame for gambling scandals the same way the league's partnerships with alcohol sponsors doesn't make them liable for a player getting arrested for driving under the influence. Although it may appear undesirable, the players are ultimately accountable for their actions. In each clubhouse, Rule 21 is clearly posted. To Cupida Marcano, an infielder